He possessed as much natural talent as any youngster we ever signed, but he kept getting into trouble. Manchester United are a club renowned for their elite academy, with the class of '92 and Busby Babes going down in the annals of football history as legendary foundations epitomising the rich tradition and excellence of Manchester United. The 2011 FA Youth Cup winning side had all the materials and expectations to be the next great generation of talent to lead Manchester United to glory. The team was full of talent, with the likes of Sam Johnston, Jesse Lingard and Paul Pogba all being key members of the side. However, the man who was seen as the biggest talent of them all was Ravel Morrison. Join me as we explore the underwhelming career and troubled life of one of Manchester United's greatest talents. Let's start at the beginning. Ravel Morrison was born on the 2nd of February 1993 in Wythenshawe, Manchester. Growing up in a tough neighbourhood, Morrison faced challenges from a young age, but his undeniable football talent became clear very early on in life. At just 8 years old, Morrison joined Manchester United, with Sir Alex Ferguson seeing his immense potential in the young midfielder from a very young age, comparing him to Paul Scholes. Morrison's rise through the ranks at Manchester United was meteoric. He was a key figure in the youth teams, displaying skill, vision and a scoring ability which set him apart from his peers. However, off-the-field issues began to overshadow his on-field brilliance, and disciplinary problems emerged. Morrison, like many footballers, came from a working-class background, growing up with a single mother and two younger brothers. Ravel's mother spent most of her time either working or looking after Ravel's younger brothers, which caused Ravel to be swayed by some poor influences from his local community. He was often seen in the early hours of the morning partying across Manchester, with this catching the eye of Britain's tabloid media, who take no persuading to demonise one of the country's most prestigious talents. The lost but still humble and respectful Morrison was now labelled as a bad apple by much of the British public before he even made his professional debut, which took a toll on the confidence of the youngster. However, Morrison was still a standout performer in the youth teams, since describing in an interview with Rio Ferdinand.
Yeah, it's like when you go to football, it's like I said before, that was my environment. You don't think of nothing when you're there. All you think about is football, enjoying it, having a laugh with the other players. But then, as soon as you leave football, you've got 1,000 things on your mind. I want to go link this guy, I want to go link this one, I want to go to this party. Do you know what I mean?
This immense talent was being taken note of by many people within the club, with Sir Alex Ferguson inviting Morrison to train with the first team at just 15 years of age, with his talent making a profound impact on many of the club's first team players. Wayne Rooney has since claimed that Morrison had everything required for a player in his position and was a country mile better than both Jesse Lingard and Paul Pogba. Whilst multiple former Manchester United players have recalled an infamous training game where Morrison nutmegged Nemanja Vidic 3 times in the space of a minute, whilst the defender was at the peak of his powers. This natural talent and youthful confidence had players in the dressing room convinced that Morrison would become a key player for the club in the very near future. However, his background finally caught up to him, with off-the-field issues preventing him from breaking into the first team. Morrison was training the first team while still having to cycle 1 hour into training and only earning a scholarship wage whilst playing with multi-millionaires. The desperate financial situation of his family were faced with saw him having to steal and sell Rio Ferdinand's and Wayne Rooney's boots in order to put food on the table for his family. Morrison would often also turn up late to training and wouldn't adhere to the dietary expectations of a Premier League footballer. Reminiscing on this time of his life, Morrison has admitted extreme regret for his lack of professionalism and explained that his lack of father figure made it so he didn't truly understand why his actions were seen as disrespectful or how they could damage his football career. Morrison only ever made 3 first-team appearances for Manchester United before being sold in wake of assault charges and pleading guilty to witness intimidation. It is thought that this run in with the law was the last straw for Sir Alex Ferguson, who, despite having a soft spot for Morrison, didn't feel that Manchester United was the environment for Morrison to thrive in. Reminiscing on Morrison, Ferguson has said that the kid had a good heart but was beaten by his background. Morrison joined Sam Allardyce's West Ham, where after a short loan spell at Birmingham City, he started to show his talent that he always promised to show, with him famously scoring a solo goal against Tottenham, and became a key player for the Hammers. But Morrison still showed a lack of professionalism, which saw him being sent out on loan again, this time to QPR. His time at QPR was probably the best of his career, scoring 13 times in 33 starts and becoming a fan favourite in West London, helping Rangers get promoted to the Premier League. However, on the back of a positive season, Morrison was once again in trouble with the law, charged with assaulting his ex-girlfriend and her mother outside of a nightclub. The next few years of Morrison's career saw him travelling around the world, playing in the likes of Cardiff, Lazio, Atlas and Östersund to a different level of success. Morrison has attributed his time at Atlas in Mexico as the place where he matured and began to understand the mistakes of his past, which caused him to not reach the heights many would have expected. In recent years, Morrison has seen relative success working under former Manchester United teammate Wayne Rooney at Derby County and followed him to DC United in the MLS. But it now seems unlikely that Morrison will ever be back playing football in the Premier League. The career of Ravel Morrison highlights how important someone's personal life can have on the success of their football career, and how it's impossible to judge a footballer without understanding the full context of their personal life. It is also a career that can be seen as either a massive disappointment of one of England's most promising talents of the 21st century, or more positively, the story of how a son of a single mother has been able to earn millions of pounds playing professional football for over a decade to change the life of himself and his family.